Good morning, wrestling fans. Welcome to PWR today, July 20th, 2021. The man they call Meathead, the Road Warrior Linda K, the lovely Road Warrior Linda K. You know what? They needed you in LOD 2000. Forget Sonny. You could have been the one that came out with LOD 2000.
Oh, why, thank you. I would have been a little young, but of legal age to have participated as a manager in the WWFE at the time.
It was F at the
So
time, actually.
that's what I thought. Okay, yeah. So it could have been possible depending what month of the year 2000.
No, they were LOD 2098.
Okay.
But maybe we could have. I mean, there's been a tag team champion before. Braun Strowman had a 10-year-old kid be a Raw tag team champion.
That's right. So I could have been to that third Road Warrior for LOD at that time.
Yep. So, hey, we've got a lot of stuff. This is a big day today, folks. Again, just a reminder, tomorrow morning there will be no show. Bucks in 6, Linda. Bucks in 6. Tonight, the NBA Finals. But that's not what you're listening to the podcast for. You're listening to it for a little bit of wrestling action. But before we get there, let's get to the sponsor.
Our sponsor, Collar and Elbow, where you can find the latest and greatest in wrestling street fashions. Perhaps tonight at the Deer District, I'll have on some collar and elbow gear. Make sure to go to collarandelbowbrand.com, and to save yourself a little cash, use promo code LindaK, that's LINDAKAY, to save 10% off your order.
Okay, so we promised you some Impact Wrestling results from over the weekend. Let's talk about it right now. Linda, I know I didn't get to see it. I think Matthew said he was going to be watching it, but Linda, did you get to see any of it, or do you just know results?
I more so know the results. I was up north in the North Woods of Wisconsin camping this past
at the
weekend.
Rock Fest.
So, yes,
you weren't in that tent, that picture I sent you, right? That wasn't you inside that tent?
No, I perhaps those kind of tents were indeed on site, but I was not involved with any of those shenanigans.
That picture is going to get posted on the internet because that was absolutely fantastic. Slammiversary, really the high points here. Their first time having fans back in the arena. Kenny Omega retains. The Good Brothers, once again, Impact Tag Team Champions. And that special mystery opponent for Deonna Purrazzo ended up being Chelsea Green. Chelsea Green, I believe, was her... Oh, no, I got that wrong. I apologize. It was Thunder Rosa. Oh, my God. I got my surprises all crossed up there. Thunder Rosa.
Well, I mean, to your defense, Chelsea Green was another surprise in the evening, but with that mixed tag match with Matt Cardona and Brian Myers and Tennille Dashwood.
Yeah, but I mean, again, I've got all my surprises screwed up because that's not the only surprise. We haven't seen him in a while since his party was removed from WWE Raw, but no way. Jose, no way.
Jose.
No way shows up on Impact. And he was part of a tag team match. No way is now part of Impact Wrestling. Wow. Hello. Where have you been, my friend? It's good to see you.
Absolutely. There were a ton of surprises at Slammiversary. And familiar faces. So that always
speaking of one of my favorite familiar faces, Mickie James. Mickie James on Impact Wrestling also showing up, and she brought out Thunder Rosa. Deonna Purrazzo retains, but look at what Thunder Rosa's doing. She's working in AAA, she's working in Impact, she's working in AEW, she's working for NWA. All of these companies are working hand in hand together with no issues. Literally, look at the cross-promotional stuff that we are doing with all these companies.
Yeah, I mean, there's been cross-promotional stuff in the past, but nothing quite to this extent, at least in my lifetime, and I'm loving it. I like the camaraderie. I like how all of the major wrestling promotions are getting the live audiences, and I love how each promotion is just feeding off one another.
I love it. Tony Khan has opened up everybody's forbidden door.
Yes. Yes, indeed. Thank you, Tony Khan.
New women's tag team champions, Havoc and Rosemary, becoming champions. Ultimate X had the X Division Championship on the line. Your winner and still champion. Boy, this guy is just a hardcore, just a warrior. Josh Alexander retains. And again, Chelsea Green is Matt Cardona's partner in the match. The Hot Mess is back. W. Morrissey also wrestling Eddie Edwards as well on the pay-per-view. So if you haven't had a chance yet, head on over to Fight TV, see if you can find Impact Wrestling Slammiversary. They are making their way to Bound for Glory. You know, I've been to a Bound for Glory. I loved my Bound for Glory experience. Bound for Glory, what do they call the building now? It's the one that All Out's going to be in Chicago. It used to be the Sears Center.
It's now, no pun intended, the Now Arena.
Oh, boy. But, yeah, Bound for Glory. Damien and I, we went and did some work on Impact Weekend one weekend. I think that main event for that Bound for Glory was Samoa Joe and Sting in the main event.
Well,
and they had
I was
going to say they had Ultimate X, that one, too. That's the one that looks like Thunderdome. No pun intended.
Oh, I was just going to say this year's Bound for Glory being in Las Vegas, it's, the wrestling fans' second chance at seeing another major pay-per-view in Viva Las Vegas this year.
Wow, what is going on in the wrestling world? I mean, we have got just all sorts of just everything going on. Let's talk real quick about what happened. We didn't talk, but apparently Becky Lynch was backstage at Money in the Bank on Sunday, fueling reports that she possibly was going to be at the pay-per-view. I mean, she tweeted out a picture of her in front of the Dickies Arena, so she was definitely in the house. Becky Lynch, I thought, was showing up last night on Raw, but we will get to Raw in just a little bit. And then finally, one more piece of news. Apparently, WWE is going to be producing a documentary on the post-9/11 SmackDown. Damien tweeted out a while ago, again, that guy we know in Dallas. I tweeted out, he says, Houston is historic. Look at that first, show back. Houston is also where the post 9/11 SmackDown was at as well, if you remember. So,
I do remember that. I mean, very emotional.
Very emotional.
Yeah.
We also want to talk about real quick for Money in the Bank, Michael Cole with a big mistake in commentary, but I mean, we're nitpicking the top guy, right? He claimed that Edge created the Money in the Bank ladder match. That is incorrect. Edge is the first winner of the match, but not the creator. It was half Chris Jericho, your friend, from the North Woods. And I think it was Brian Gertz, former writer for WWE. The story goes that Jericho replied to a tweet and said, yes, I half created it along with his friend Brian, who was a writer at the time. But he said, Vince did have one input. He says it has to be in a briefcase. Cool. All right. Yeah. So absolutely. And again, now they have the stylish cases. They've got the men's and the women's, the different colors. Did you know that the men's is the solid green and the women's is the white with the green trim?
Yes, it used to be gold when it was just the men's Money in the Bank. At least at one point it was. But yeah, I recognize that it's green for the men and white for the women.
This is some useless information that you probably didn't know, and it will make you no better nor worse in the rest of your life. But did you know that sodas that are caffeine-free and diet sodas that are caffeine-free also go by the same color scheme?
Now that you've mentioned it, I can picture that on
regular caffeine-free sodas. So let's say a Pepsi caffeine-free or a Mountain Dew caffeine-free will be the solid color with the gold. If it's a diet caffeine-free, it will be the white with the gold. If you also look at your sodas, your regular sodas are solid colors and your diet sodas are white.
I thought gold was when it's diet and caffeine free.
Well, the gold is still on the caffeine free if it's regular. So like if you have a caffeine free Mountain Dew, but it's not a diet caffeine free Mountain Dew, then it's going to be a solid color with the gold. The gold indicates caffeine free, and that's across all brands. I don't know when they agreed with each other or if the government made them do it, but Coca-Cola, Pepsi, all these other companies.
Even Tab, huh?
Tab, yes, because Marty McFly is coming back from 1985 to order himself a Tab.
Fun fact: the more you know.
The more you know. Let's talk about Raw from last night, okay? First off, we thought that seeing John Cena at the end of Money in the Bank was like, all right, cool. He went after Roman Reigns. You know what? if you have a ticket to Monday Night's Raw and the Big D, you're probably not going to see John Cena. Well, look who showed up at the beginning of the show talking. It was John Cena again. Your thoughts on John Cena coming out again on the post Money in the Bank?
Well, that's huge. They could see John Cena live.
They did see him.
Yes. I don't know if you saw
the only person that didn't see him was Pat McAfee, apparently.
So I don't know if you saw the footage, the extended footage.
Yes, he talked.
Talking. Yeah. Yes. So I think it was just an additional treat. Let's have the biggest star of WWE in this time greet the crowd in Dallas for the first Raw, back live with the audience. I think it was a great way to kick off that Raw and just to, get the storylines going. He's mentioning he's also going to be at SmackDown this week and that he is going to be challenging or whatever with Roman Reigns. And I think that was just nice for the crowd to get Cena in the house as well. I mean, and it was just a fun way to kick it off, and it rolled right into the first match. So we got that interaction with him and Riddle after. But again, so excited to see John Cena back in WWE, and it just rolled over from a big excitement from Money in the Bank.
Absolutely. John Cena also said why he's going to SmackDown is because Roman Reigns is an arsehole. And you know what? He must have cleared that with the boys in the back because they had that beep or delete button ready to go because they deleted more than just a word.
Right. Oh, did he say more than arsehole?
I'm sorry, say that again.
Arsehole.
Arse, yes.
Yeah. So no, I like that. Brought a little bit of edge out there, and not no pun intended, but also just getting the crowd even more riled up.
So John Cena comes out, has his promo, and I think he does a great job. And, he cracked a little joke. Obviously he mentioned that, hey, first I seen signs that say, if John Cena shows, we cheer. This kid showed up for his 11th birthday for John Cena. But I was excited to see who is going to get to interact, because that's really the big thing. When they have the big star show up, he's got to interact with somebody. Somebody's got to get the rub. And it's probably the second hottest face on Raw. Bro.
Yes.
What did you think of the singing between them? Bro.
Yes. We love Riddle, and that was fun to see. I was hoping that Riddle would have pulled a Randy Orton type move where he would have tried to RKO him or whatnot. I wasn't sure. But after their interaction, the bro out, if you will, we got an introduction to Matt Riddle's, or him being the first of that 6-man tag match to kick off Raw.
Yeah, 6-man tag. Matt Riddle and the Viking Raiders taking on the team of what did he call himself now? America's Most Wanted.
Yes.
And the Raw Tag Team Champions AJ Styles and Omos. Miz has got a new thing, and it's a bucket full of whatever he's walking around with in his wheelchair, spraying people, spraying ring announcers, spraying the
announce team, or sorry,
the announce team. Yep, the commentators, all of that. I'm entertained, and I really thought this was a great way to kick off the night.
Absolutely, and just the introduction to what John Morrison now wants to be called.
America's Most Wanted.
Yeah, there was a sign in the crowd. I don't know if you saw it, but it said, "Hey, John, you should get no, your John, you should see a doc to look at that drip."
John, you should have a doctor check your drip. Something. No, they've got an ointment for that. Yeah.
A cream, yes.
Yeah, no, a salve.
No, it was very entertaining. Even just having Miz out there, like you said. I mean, he's obviously a huge star in WWE, and even if he can't be in ring at the moment, having him at ringside so the crowd could see him and get that comic relief with that drip stick.
His drippy stick. Yeah. Jackson Riker and Elias are going to have a Symphony of Destruction match. Now, this apparently is the new match has been made for Elias. Has Elias ever won one?
I don't know. We'll have to look into that, but if they keep doing it, they're just gonna have to think of more unique ways, more instruments, more unique
More Megadeth puns.
uses.
Yeah.
Yeah, or that too.
Yeah.
I mean, oh, maybe they would have to get the rights to it, but if he would play a
Dun,
riff
dun,
on
dun, dun,
that cello
dun,
or the double
dun.
bass, that would be tremendous.
You take a mortal man. Dun, dun, dun. Yeah.
Don't.
Jackson Riker, the winner of the Symphony of Destruction. Mansoor. See what I did there? I had to really lean into it because I almost
Yeah,
said Mansoors.
I know.
Is
So I
backstage
chuckled.
with Adam Pearce and Sonya Deville and talking about how he asked for a tag team match with him and Mustafa Ali. Mustafa rolls off the tongue a little bit easier for me now. That ends up in a tag team match. Sheamus comes back and is complaining that he's got Humberto Carrillo again. And what they did was they made the match a championship qualifying match. They've done this a couple times now, but what are you going to do? He's going to have to face him. Back from the break, still to come, apparently there is an open challenge from Bobby Lashley. But we go out to the ring, and it's Charlotte Flair's championship coronation. Now, the man they call Meathead, and we'll get to PWR draft points in a bit. The man they call Meathead, very excited that Charlotte Flair is the new Raw Women's Champion. Unfortunately, beating probably one of my favorite women on the roster, Rhea Ripley, because she's metal. They're going back and forth. Flair drops a little nugget and says, I could beat you any night of the week, even with your little injury. Here comes really the two-headed office, if you will. It's Adam Pearce, it's Sonya Deville, and says, let's make it official. Tonight, you will defend in the main event against Rhea Ripley for the WWE Raw Women's Championship. Charlotte Flair is the only 11-time women's champion in WWE. Your thoughts?
Yeah, it was nice for Charlotte to go through her accolades and all the championships and mentioning that Divas title that once existed. And yeah, I mean, I'm glad that the live Dallas crowd and the first Raw back with a live audience got to see or was getting to see another championship match take place live. And it was nice to have another Rhea Ripley Charlotte Flair match later in the night. Why not? You and I have said it numerous times. We
love
love
that
their
matchup.
chemistry. Yeah, absolutely.
She even kicked her high heels off at her. She flung her foot and shot a shoe at her. That was amazing. And it clipped her right in the face. And Rhea's like, I don't know if that was real. She's like, what the?
Who throws their shoe?
Honestly, who throws a shoe? Do you know that guy that threw the shoe? What was his name? The character's name?
I forgot.
Random Task.
That was his name in Austin Powers?
Yeah, the character's name was, let me introduce Random Task. Random, show them what you do. He cracks his neck and then throws a shoe. Goes, honestly, who throws a shoe? Random Task is, from the last I checked, he was in jail for murder.
Oh.
He didn't throw a shoe.
Okay.
Look that one up, folks. I might be off a little bit, but I think the dude that played Random Task is behind bars. All right, number one contenders match. No random task here. WWE Women's Tag Team Champions Natalya and Tamina Snuka taking on Nia Jax and Shayna Baszler. We haven't seen them in a little bit. Nia Jax let her hair out. Looks good. I enjoy it. The winners of the match, though, due to Reggie again, Natalya and Tamina Snuka. And I thought it was going to be Shayna Baszler kicking off Reggie's head. No, it was Nia sticking up for Shayna and getting rid of Reggie. However, moments later, here comes the 24/7 championship parade. Your winner and new 24/7 champion, Reggie.
Yes. I mean, that's great to see Reginald get some type of limelight or light on himself.
I liked it.
Yeah, absolutely. And we got to see, more of, as they were saying, some Cirque du Soleil type moves that were amazing stuff we've never seen.
While he was trying to escape, he did a flip outside. It was amazing.
Yes. And just even his move, I'm not even sure how to explain it, what to call it, but him just doing numerous
Cirque du Soleil.
standing. Yeah, and landing on Akira Tozawa and becoming that champion. But then him doing the backflips up the ramp.
Yep,
Very
that
impressive.
was awesome.
Yes.
That was awesome. All right, so after all of that, we go out to the ring, and after commercial, it is announced that WWE NXT champion Karrion Kross will be debuting on Raw tonight. Holy balls. Is it going to happen? Karrion Kross, still current NXT champion, is now on Raw. Is he staying on Raw? Is he a Raw superstar? Is that why Nikki, almost a superhero, A.S.H, had to lose her cross name? It's what we've been talking about for months. So here we are, Karrion Kross, going to debut on Raw tonight. But we get the match again between Sheamus and Humberto Carrillo. By the way, the new entrance, the new ramps, the new LEDs and all that, the best use of it so far. Sheamus's entrance is fantastic.
Yeah. I
mean, that whole dark alley thing that he's got in there, and Slobber, or no, it was Donnybrook Lane. All of that looked great.
Yeah, no, definitely. I know we had mentioned it, or you mentioned it last night or yesterday in the podcast, the new set, but I'm digging it. I like it. I mean, it's making great use of it, just like with Sheamus' entrance.
Yeah. So Sheamus, after the match, stands tall with the title in his hand. He's the United States champion. I don't see anything going on for him for the time being. Hopefully it's Damian Priest and Sheamus at SummerSlam. We've got an open challenge for the WWE title. Bobby Lashley, we've talked about it. It's coming. Fans are chanting for it. I think this is the best deke that WWE has pulled in a long time. We're all expecting it. We're all expecting to hear. We're expecting it. They zoom in on Bobby's face, and it's not Bobby, or excuse me, it's not Goldberg. It's Keith Lee. Where the hell have you been? Thank you, Vince McMahon. It's Keith Lee making his return to WWE Raw. Did you love the swerve that they did here?
Yeah. I mean, obviously the rumor mill has been out about Goldberg being Bobby Lashley's next challenger. So when I heard the other music, which is this another song for Keith Lee? Because it wasn't, I mean, obviously we all love his NXT one.
The NXT one was the best.
And then when he came on Raw, it was more of like a rock kind of song, and now it's something else. So I think
it seemed generic, to be honest.
Yeah, again, yeah. But I think he could have got a bigger pop if it was something more recognizable. I mean, hey, I know I'm jumping ahead a little bit, but if Jeff Hardy can use his previous songs, like one of his originals, if not his original solo song, they could have. I mean, again, I don't know the internal logistics, but it would have been cool if it was just if he heard "Bask in His Glory." I think the crowd would have.
Yeah, if they would have just said "Bask in My Glory," or "Bask," the crowd would have popped.
Absolutely. So it was still great to see Keith Lee out there. And another reason for that is just he has been off TV for since January. So it would.
Where the hell have you been?
Yeah. So it's
great
great to
Vince
see
McMahon,
Keith Lee.
6 words.
Yes. Bucks and 6. And it was great to see Keith Lee back, but I kind of figured it wasn't going to go his way, and I just hope that despite the loss.
I hope he's back, and I hope he's back in the mix.
Let's get him Let's get him back in a top tier role.
Yep. All right. So Bobby Lashley wins after the match. He stands tall as his music hits, and he stands and poses until the music hits, and hears Goldberg's music. Boy, the crowd loved him. Damn it, the crowd loves him. My complaint, and Matthew's complaint, and I don't know if your complaint's the same, but my complaint is every time this dude shows up, look at that, he gets a title shot.
Yeah, and then the match ends up being very quick spears.
No more than 5 minutes.
Yep. Spear, which is fine, but like you just mentioned, if it's the MO, is that the word I'm trying to say? I hope it's not as predictable, I guess.
Please,
but obviously we will get a spear fest because spear versus spear. Funny because we got it kind of it wasn't spear versus spear with Edge and Roman the other night, but still spears everywhere.
Right. You get a spear. You get a spear. Who wants a spear? Yeah. Who wants some money? Sorry, I'm trying to do my Oprah, and I have too much bass in my voice.
Look under your chair.
Look under your chair. Yeah. Jinder Mahal in the ring with Veer and Shanky, and he's just gloating over what he did to Drew's sword and really to Drew's chances of getting the WWE Championship again. Drew wasn't having it, and he beat the crap on Shanky. Shanky had marks all up and down on him.
I was yelling, stop. I mean, my goodness. It was, I think, like 10 to start off with and very hard chair shots. And then the 20,
yeah,
like 30 chair shots. Wonder, like out of Janky and Veer, who got the short end of stick of that one, or
is that their initiation? I mean, because good God, man.
Yeah. I mean, Drew was going at it, and
yeah,
not saying a chair shot could feel light, but it could be, a little less forceful, if you will, but he was really whacking that thing.
Yeah. Oh. Here it is. After the promo package, the debut on Raw of Karrion Kross, still NXT champion, taking on Jeff Hardy. Oh, no, not Jeff Hardy. Holy balls! Jeff Hardy with the roll-up win. What happened? A, where was Scarlett? B,
yes,
did Karrion Kross look as intimidating in a bigger arena than he does on NXT?
I didn't really think about that, but now that you said it, number one, with his entrance, I was hoping, where was Scarlett? Because that would have made his introduction to Raw, I think, much more impactful. And I didn't really like how they zoomed on his face after losing to Jeff Hardy. Just the look on his face, not
right.
zooming in on his face, but the look on his face.
He looked small, actually.
And he didn't. He did get that post-match interview where, that Karrion Kross, the killer, if you will.
Yes, Killer Kross, right.
Yes, came back out. But maybe that, that was just an assist by Jeff Hardy to really show his intense.
Well, he's no longer undefeated.
Ooh.
Yeah, no longer undefeated. Raw Women's title match, Ripley and Flair, the main event. This, again, these women are amazing. I could watch them go at it all the time because they just keep bringing out different stuff. And again, there seems to be so much trust in just, trust. It's the right word between the two of them. They are working very close. The winner by DQ, Rhea Ripley, because she hit her with the belt. Rhea Ripley beats down Charlotte Flair. I'm like, you know what? At the end of the night, I'm wondering if Becky Lynch is going to come out. That sounds like superhero music, or at least almost superhero music. Here comes Nikki A.S.H. Cashes in her Money in the Bank that she won previously the night before. 1, 2, 3. New Raw Women's Champion, Nikki A.S.H. Linda.
Yeah. What a way to send off the crowd in Dallas. I definitely was not expecting to see Nikki A.S.H. cash it in so soon.
And she celebrated with Sign Guy, the dude with the red hat. Yeah. I like that guy.
Oh, yes. He was the one with the drip sign.
Of course he was.
Yeah. And I, too, was expecting Becky Lynch to come out to challenge Charlotte Flair. Yeah, perhaps a lead up into SummerSlam. I think that's something that a lot of the WWE universe, wrestling fans in general, was expecting,
and ready for.
Yeah, I was so ready. But hey, let's throw a curveball in this. Let's have Nikki A.S.H, Nikki A.S.H, Nikki, almost a superhero, come on in and cash in her contract on Charlotte freaking Flair. Wow.
She's the opportunity.
Yeah. So now it just kind of got me thinking now, who will be facing Nikki, I almost said Kross, Nikki A.S.H. I mean, there's still some time leading up to SummerSlam, but I guess in this new character, there hasn't been any, long feuds taking place. I want to see something
think it's a rematch.
Big.
I think it's Charlotte.
You think Charlotte?
I think it's Charlotte. And that segues me right into PWR draft. As of the end of Money in the Bank, the big winner of the pay-per-view was Matthew Thomas, the Matthew Thomas to watch in 2021 with 245 points. His Matthew to watch in 2021 did not win the match, Matt Riddle. I scored 190 on the pay-per-view. Linda, you got 115. The new totals brought to you by the accounting firm of Dewey, Cheatham, and Howe. Meathead leads 1,000, 5 points. Linda Cade, second place with 900. and Matthew Thomas sniffing your neck like creepy Uncle Joe Biden at 890. However, Linda K, you have some news. You are making a move post Money in the Bank.
Yes, I am. While my latest acquisition to Team Longtime was KO, Kevin Owens, KO that is. And while he did score me points at Money in the Bank the other night, I hereby declare that I'm dropping Kevin Owens, taking my 25-point loss, and acquiring the one, the only man you can't see, John Cena.
Well, the time for you to be in second place is up, Linda. The time for Matthew to move ahead to second place is now. The new totals brought to you by the accounting firm of Dewey, Cheatham & Howe. Meathead leading at 1,005 points. In second place, Matthew Thomas at 890 and sniffing Matthew Thomas's neck like creepy Uncle Joe Biden. Linda K at 875, an absolute dead last.
But barely. But that's okay. You know, John Cena, no matter what happens at SummerSlam, will score Team Longtime a great amount of points. But I'm also just a huge fan of John Cena. I'd love to have him on Team Longtime in our PWR fantasy draft for 2021, baby. Woo!
There you go. So that is PWR today. Again, folks, we apologize, but Bucks and 6, if we didn't say it enough here. John Cena came out again doing the Bucks and 6 sign. I don't know if you see that, where he puts his forefinger and his thumb together and puts his other 3 fingers out on each hand. Bucks and 6.
Yep, I do that with him.
Matter of fact, every time 3D we're doing like getting the tables, I noticed they were doing it too. It's weird.
Wow, that was years in the making.
They
saw this coming. It's not just going to be 50 years since the Bucks winning the NBA championship, but it's going to be a huge celebration with my 6 fingers in the air too.
That's right. And again, folks, remember, while your cities may have had this, that, or the other thing, Milwaukee, while they have only had 2 championships in the entire history of professional sports, they won both of those on the road. Tonight, the Milwaukee Bucks have a chance to be the first team in Milwaukee history to win a championship at home. They have literally extended the area. For those that have been paying any attention, they call it the Deer District. It is now capable of holding 65,000 people outside. 65,000 people.
And that's just outside.
That's just outside. I don't know what Pfizer's capacity is, 20-something. 65,000.
Insane in the membrane. And you know what? Both you and I will be on site. And rumor has it, our good friend from Dallas.
That's right. Our friend from the Big D. Well. Yeah. I mean, there are people coming from all over the country to be here. I mean, you'll get obviously during the game, the celebrities watch. They even moved the Milwaukee Brewers game up, which was scheduled to go off at 7 o'clock local. They said, we want to watch the Bucks game too. We're going to play the Kansas City Royals at 3 so we can get done and come down to the Fiserv.
Yes.
History in the making. It's been on the building all year long. Today is the day. So no show tomorrow morning. I apologize. We will not be recording. I don't know where I'll be. I don't know if I'll be up against a rail. I don't know if I'll be wearing beads. I mean, I don't know what'll be happening. So
I know we'll be having a tremendous time amongst 65,000 plus of our friends here in Milwaukee. So I cannot wait. As a matter of fact, I got to start my celebration going, or I should say celebration, but my prelude to tonight's festivities. So I gotta go, Meathead.
We gotta get going. Let's get off the air here. We're already monkeying around. Let's go. For Linda K, the man to call Meathead, we'll see you after Bucks in 6. So long, everyone.